Five. Did it go? I think we're almost there. Says we're done. Yeah, we're live right here, ladies and gentlemen. We're just gonna set up everything else that needs to be set up. But welcome to today's show. This is 901. We're gonna run through this, but we got some all-star weekend stuff that I'd like to do some housekeeping on. Nothing crazy, but I do think that the way that the NBA is heading this season, it's an open book. Anybody can go and win the championship this year. So I definitely think that's going to be interesting as all hell. Now, with the NBA All Star weekend, I don't know. I think it's definitely when we look at who's going to be there, we got Giannis for the captain of the East, LeBron for the West, which is also crazy that they're bringing this back. So, like, it's not crazy, but you have to understand that it is kind of crazy because I'm pretty sure LeBron's whole life he's been only East because when he went to the Lakers, they had gotten rid of the format. But this is gonna be his first Western All Star, so I think that's pretty cool. And I don't know. I think the NBA trade cycle and All Star weekend ramping up all is going to coincide for a really good next like 2 weeks. But yeah, I feel like everything's ramping up. It's going to be a fun time to be an NBA fan. And if we just look at what we have available to us, let's just get right into it. And let's just talk about the NBA trade rumors and everything going on. Was there anybody you guys wanted to see in the NBA All Star weekend that just didn't show up or get voted in? I think what we saw that not Steph Curry, but who's coming off the bench for the first? Was Steph Curry? Somebody's coming off the bench for the first time in their career. It might be Steph Curry. And yeah, it is Steph Curry because I think it's Shea and Luca as the backcourt, which is wild. And it just goes to show that we're getting to a point that the next generation taking over, guys. Whether you like it or not, that's where we're at. The new generation's here, queer, ready to drink beer. And I like the size of this pimple. It's the size of fucking Earth. Yeah, no, but I think when you look at this, the way that the NBA landscape is going, it makes sense that this is where we're at. I mean, I do want to say that 3-point contest. I don't know. I have no. Mm, five guys who received. That's crazy. Five guys who have received votes did not play this season. Who's voting people? Some of these votes are just terrible. I mean, I'm not the one doing them, but it's interesting to see how All Star Weekend works always. I do at least, I guess, All Star votings matter a bit more than Pro Bowls, but let's get right into the news and let's talk about it. So the Atlanta Hawks won't take the D'Angelo Russell and DeJounte Murray trade. The Los Angeles Lakers have been linked to trade rumors for the Atlanta Hawks guard DeJounte Murray. However, getting to a trade is seemingly going to be difficult as both teams are. This deal is contingent on finding a third team. Like I said, the only third team I can imagine is the Brooklyn Nets. The Hawks reportedly don't want to take back Lakers guard D'Angelo Russell in any deal for Murray. In order to match the salary, Los Angeles almost certainly has to include Russell in its offers for Murray. If a deal for Murray materializes, the Lakers and Hawks will have to find a third team that's willing to take Russell. The guards owed 17.5 million this year and almost 19 for next season. Problem is the more time that passes, the the more likely there's a chance a team can come in and steal DeJounte Murray from the Lakers. So that is kind of the big problem that you're trying to figure out is okay, like clearly you're trying to upgrade the roster, but you're also in a delicate position because you're fully aware that if you don't do this sooner rather than later, there is the possibility of having to understand that somebody could steal D'Angelo from you, which obviously isn't what you want. But again, this is why I keep saying I really see this as a potentially an opportunity for the Brooklyn Nets, because the only time the Brooklyn Nets, I mean, D'Angelo Russell has been consistent was on the Brooklyn Nets. And ironically enough, I think it would be a good fit for them. But would they want that? Is that even something they're interested in? You know, who knows? But I think it goes to show that the where we are definitely in the season, people are trying to make moves to upgrade. I mean, a lot of teams are trying to make moves to upgrade. So I think it's going to be up for the bestseller. I've said this all season long. Whoever offers the most picks for D'Lo is going to get D'Lo. Now let's continue with the next news. The Bulls want a strong return package for Zach LaVine, which is kind of funny. But what they specifically means the Chicago Bulls are open to trading Zach LaVine as his request. However, the Bulls are not looking to give Zach LaVine away. They're not getting desperate. So they're not just trying to shed his salary. Okay. And for them, I think when you look at this, Chicago's still looking for that return. And the Bulls and Pistons engaged in a discussion for LaVine. Things never got serious, though, or even close to being considered done. Zach LaVine requested a trade earlier this season. It was reported that Chicago would attempt to accommodate his request. However, no serious market has developed for Zach LaVine, who's owed $178 million over the next few seasons through 2026 to 27. And I think that's just something that people don't realize is like, first off, dude, it's just if you really want Jalen, I mean, Zach LaVine, just go get Jalen Green. Probably cost you the same, maybe cheaper. You can ask him to sign a cheaper contract. So that's the whole thing is that there's a lot of guys who can do what Zach LaVine does for cheaper, asset wise, and contract. You just put yourself in a juxtaposition by going after Zach. So that's where I think. Let's also listen to this quote. But here's a LeBron quote. Little press conference from LeBron James talking about him hitting his 20th NBA All Star selection, which is like really cool. And yeah, so for us, what we're hearing is, and this report is coming from the Athletic, well, about DeJounte Murray. This one, even though the market about the market for Zach LaVine is coming from Casey Johnson, the Bulls league sources have had conversation with several teams, but it just hasn't grown into anything. And yeah, no, I mean it makes sense the where they're at because uh like for me, I I get it. I get it where they're not trying to force their hand, trying to overpay or anything because of where we're at right now. Now we're gonna continue talking about the next stuff, which is the Toronto Raptors. So we're hearing that the Toronto Raptors are, according to Josh Lewenberg of TSN, the Raptors are open for business ahead of the February 8th trade deadline, was tell Josh Lewenberg. And I think that's definitely an interesting one as we hear the reports. Everyone thinks that this is a team that was probably going to stay the same, but they really haven't. So I think I'd like what Toronto has done. They've accepted, they bit the bullet, and they knew that they had to evolve the team. And I give them kudos for not being stagnant and realizing change was needed. So not a lot of teams will do that. And they were, Masai Ujiri. Maybe he was a year too late, but he eventually did it. So you can't get mad at the guy for maybe not take for doing it as quick as possible and hoping that like a team that he won a championship would still be able to hold on. But I get it. So the Toronto Raptors are open for business ahead of the trade deadline. Only Emmanuel Quickly, Scotty Barnes, and RJ Barrett are considered untouchable, as Josh Bloomberg of TSN is reporting. Supposedly, the main vision of this team is developing a young core. The organization is looking into the future and establishing a foundation for this team around Emmanuel Quigley, Scotty Barnes, and RJ Barrett. Basically, the 1, 2, 3. And Bruce Brown has reportedly drawn interest from several teams, including the Lakers and Knicks. We've said with the Lakers, it seems like they would want to do a package that is either D'Angelo Russell with Jalen Hood-Schifino or Gabe Vincent and Rui Hachimura package, something of those lines. But the bigger thing that we're hearing is that this team is in transition. Even after a couple big franchise altering moves, Masai Ujiri has made it clear that they're not done dealing and wheeling ahead of this year's February trade deadline. Multiple league sources have confirmed to TSN's Josh Bloomberg that the Raptors appear to be open for business. And outside of Scotty Barnes and the two former Knicks that I previously mentioned, everything and everyone is on the table. And if they do turn around and trade any bets, Gary Trent Jr., Dennis Schroeder, Chris Boucher, and of course Bruce Brown, and even Jakob Pertl will be looking at their passports and getting new stamps as they could be moved and rebuilt. Now, I think Jakob is unlikely, but dude, I've been hearing Bruce Brown and Dennis Schroeder to the Lakers, which would be, I believe that it's like $35 million. If you do Jalen Hood-Schifino, Rui Hachimura, and D'Angelo Russell, you can do the deal. So are you I don't I think some people might be surprised by the sudden shift in direction, especially with the way that Toronto feels about Pirtle after they brought him back. And the thing is it's not affecting him, but he understands that it's, a different a different season, a different team, and he's just gotta roll with the punches, which is again amendable. We always understand. And I I believe that it's going to definitely be interesting how people oh, I hate when people ask for a count other uh I send like a calendar reminder. I hate that shit. But yeah, I think it definitely goes to show where the Raptors are is interesting because they are in a position that they need to be able to capitalize on how good this team is. Also, I hate calm inboxes. I check email once in the morning and once at night, and we'll do my response. Dude, I hate people like that. This is a calm inbox. I check emails once in the morning and once at night, Monday through Friday, and we'll do my best to respond within 24 to 48 hours. I don't expect to immediately respond to emails I send. That's I also want to say that wasn't he sent that in. I hate people who have called me in mailboxes. All right, let's continue through this. Dude, Eric Slater's car crash the other day was insane. Luca next to Chuck does look huge. The difference. I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm also so mad about this pimple, but we're gonna go ahead and continue to live life. But I wanna hear you guys' opinions. Who do you guys think is gonna get traded? DeJounte Murray? I think it's cool that we live in a time that I don't know that we get to see all this news so quickly, and I think it's definitely fun as all hell, and we're very fortunate. So that's where I'm at. I definitely think it's cool, but I know some people won't. It's fine. Some people would be like, I wish we could go back to the old days where men were men and women were gals. Have you guys seen that movie? I love that movie. But yeah, no, I think with more and more time, we're we're gonna see moves happen. But let's continue today's video and talk about the other stuff that I wanted to talk about. And that is, yes, we're hearing that. What else? The 3-point contest, Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu. This is so stupid, in my opinion. First up, I how do I put this? I like whatever makes you happy makes you happy. I mean, I'm gonna be at All Star Weekend. She is a career 37.7% 3-point shooter. Dude, she weighs more than me. That's wild. She's shorter than me. But she takes about 8 threes a night this year at 45%, which is absurd, which is good for them. Good for them. Funny that she's taking the most 3-pointers of her life, but scoring not as much as she has in the past. But um, how do we put this? I basically I mean, it's all a marketing play. It's to grow the game. If that makes you happy, it makes you happy. I probably will have to cover it. And and the thing is I didn't even know that, but supposedly she holds the record for the most points in a 3-point contest. So that's why they're doing it. Definitely interesting. I mean, good for them. But also, my question is, isn't the ball smaller? Like, how is this a fair shooting contest if they're using two different balls? Also, WNBA 3-point line versus NBA. Yeah, okay. So WNBA plays with ball. Yeah, I have questions. Side versus NBA ball. Okay. So I want to say this. If we're doing all this, I have a great question. All right. So my whole question is if everybody rewrite under 240 characters. All right. So if Steph and Curry is challenging Sabrina, are we doing that both have to abide by NBA ball size and point line or WNBA's? Fair if each one has a guideline because it's not the same challenge anymore. There we go. I do want to. I'm putting this on it. I feel like that's a good tweet. I don't know. I feel like that's a good tweet. Um, I think this is funny. This is funny. All right, so I think that's a funny fucking thing. I don't even know why we did that, but either way, let's continue going. Sorry, guys, for going so quiet. I'm also in my ear. I'm hearing so much. I know this is my boss. Oh wow. Oh, okay. Somebody. All right. So somebody's like tagline is "Sorry for the brevity," and that's just like not a. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Whose signature is "Sorry for the brevity"? It's a weird request. Ah, yeah, we meet at 10:30. Yeah, 10:30 works. Just tell her that to make that woman happy. All right, what's the rest of the news that we have right here, ladies and gentlemen? I get also it's funny that they're not protesting the loss for Portland and the Pistons. Now the Eastern Conference All Stars are Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Haliburton, Damian Lillard for the East Coast, no Eastern Conference. While LeBron, Kevin Durant, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, and Shea are all on the West. No, yeah. I think with the rest of the stuff that we're seeing is that it's pretty wide open what's going to end up happening. Dude, who I just hate when people are emailing me all the time. So we got to meet. And yeah, we're hearing that Ben Simmons could return next week. If you're a fan, it's definitely interesting to see with Ben returning potentially. Dude, I have like so many emails going on in my head. Jesus Christ. My ears are going crazy with notifications. Oh, we're lagging. We're back. I think we're still frozen. Maybe not. Computer seems to be frozen. If you guys can hear me, let me know. We also just did not record this entire meeting.